Hey beautiful people, are you ready to level up your sewing skills? Today we are going to tackle one of the trickiest parts of shirt making, the collar with a stand. Imagine having a collar that sits perfectly with a script that adds a touch of professionalism to your handmade shirts. It's a game changer and I'm excited to share my secrets with you. I will break down the process into simple and easy to follow steps. If this sounds like something you're interested in, then you should watch this video to the end. The first thing we are going to be doing is to draft our collar pattern on a gum stay. And by so doing, we need our neckline measurements. Whatever you get after joining your shirts together, the neckline, you measure it. Mine is 18 inches. That's what I'll be placing on the gum stay. To make this shirt collar, I'll be cutting both the collar stand and the collar together. So to do this, since our neckline is 18 inches, I'm going to be dividing it into two. So I'll be folding this gum stay into two in order to cut it. You fold it into two and I will go ahead to check if the folded part is up to 9 inches. Remember I said I will be cutting both the collar and the collar stand together, and the first thing I will be cutting is the collar stand. For the collar stand, I will be measuring 1.25 inches from this lower part down here. The 1.25 inches is 1 1/4, so you'll be measuring it where that's your 9 inches stops on fold. When I mean on fold, your round neck measurement divided by 2. So you mark your 1.25 inches from the end and from the beginning, and you rule it, you join the lines together. After marking it, this is going to be my collar stand. To cut out the actual collar, I'm going to go inwards from where my collar stand ends and measure that same 1.25 inches. Then go in and mark it. For my actual collar, I'll be using 2 inches for it. If you want yours to be longer, you can make use of 3 inches or more, but mine, I'll be using 2 inches for it. So on that mark, I'm going to measure 2 inches, and also here I'm going to measure another 2 inches and draw a straight line. You know a shirt collar is not straight, it's a bit slanted at the end. So to get that slant there, you need to go in by 1 inch, where that 9 inches for the round neck stops. You need to go in by 1 inch and mark it there. I'll be connecting the line from where the 1 inch is to where the 1.25 inches is. It's a bit slanted as you can see. It's not straight. I'll repeat myself for a better understanding. Our round neck measurement is 18 inches divided by 2 is 8 inches, and we are cutting this on fold as you can see. So our round neck divided by 2 is 9 inches. For the collar stand, we are using 1.25 inches. That's 1 1/4. We are cutting both the collar stand and the collar together. So for the collar itself, we are using 2 inches. To get where the collar will start, I went in by 1.25 inches. The same thing I did for the collar stand. I went in by 1.25 inches. Then to get the normal slant of a shirt collar, I went in by 1 inch to get the slant. So I have to repeat myself for a better understanding. You can actually cut it like this, but the collar stand normally have a curve effect towards the starting point. So for that curve effect, I'll be going in by half an inch to get that curve effect. Next thing you do is just to create that curve effect downwards. After that, you are done with the pattern drafting. Next thing you do is to go in with your sharp scissors and follow the markings you've made. After cutting it, when you open it up, it's going to look like this. So I'll be showing you how to place this on your material, on your fabric and cut. I'll be using a crepe material for this. So I'll be placing this on the wrong side of the crepe material. And the part I'll be placing is the shiny part because that's the part we'll be gumming to the material. The shiny part should be on top of the wrong side of the material. I don't know if you understand me. When you place your gum stay on your fabric, make sure to leave around 2 inches for allowance. Then head over and iron it. Iron your gum stay on your fabric. I've ironed this, and as you can see, it's glued together to the fabric. So the next thing you're going to be doing is to fold in your allowance. Before you fold in your allowance, make sure you have enough space on the material. You fold in your allowance, that 2 inches allowance on top of the gum stay. So when you fold your material, you should be having extra half an inch for the sewing allowance at the top. Next thing I did was to fold in my 2 inches allowance. You can head over to your pressing board and iron it, but I'll be using a hemming gun for it in order to secure it properly. Hemming gun serves as a glue that enables the material or the fabric to stay in place before ironing. So I've gone ahead to iron the 2 inches allowance. As you can see, the next thing you do is to flip it over, making sure there is enough sewing allowance. You can use half an inch for the sewing allowance. So after flipping it, the 2 inches allowance that was remaining on the other side, you still place it on that fabric where you've ironed. But this time around, you're not going to be gluing it down too with a hemming gum. We are just going to iron it without glue or any hemming gum because we are still going to turn it over. After ironing it, I'll run a clean stitch very close to our pattern paper, very close to the gum stay that we used. So I've gone ahead to stitch down the material according to what I explained. Just run your stitches round the pattern. And as you can see, I use a white color of thread for this. Just use the same exact color of thread with your material to achieve this. Next thing I did was to trim out the excess fabric using a sharp scissors so that when you flip the material back, it will have a smooth finishing. After trimming out the excess fabric, the next thing to do is to flip it over. Remember I said the 2 inches allowance that was remaining by from the other side of the fabric should not be glued and it should only be ironed. So when you flip it over to the other side, you have to make sure that the pointy parts are very clear enough. Make sure the pointy parts come out very well. So after flipping it, you will notice that the sewing allowance that we left earlier on is no more showing on the outer part, is now inside. This is how it's going to look like. Next thing you do is just to iron it really flat. So after ironing it, to attach the collar to your neckline, like your shirt neckline, you just put it like this and you top stitch on it. But before then, I'm going to run a stitch on the collar. So go over to your machine and sew round, like top stitch on the collar and the collar stand. So I've gone ahead to sew it round. Also make sure that the opening that you attach to the neckline is still there. Don't sew on it. So use the same exact color of thread with the fabric. After you're done, fold your collar on top of your collar stand. Fold the main collar on top of your collar stand and iron it really flat. When you're done, this is what your collar will be looking like. You can then attach your button and create your button hole. I hope you were able to learn one or two things from this video. Let me know in the comment section, subscribe and like. Drop your comments and also share this video so that YouTube can help recommend this video to others. Thank you so much for watching and see you guys in my next video. Bye.